Shalom, giving all praise to my Heavenly Father. His name is Yahweh by Shem, Yahweh Shai, by Shem, Kakadash, Divine to the Apostles. Let us every well. Peace, many salutations to your Yakim that's touring in his truth. Wanted to come with a quick sit down, linking Esau, Edom with uh, Babylon the Great. And this is very important to know because it pinpoints what nation is likened unto Babylon now, which we know to be the U.S. Now, there's a lot of people that's continuing with this breakdown, and they say that Babylon the Great, spoken about in Revelation the 18th chapter, is the Vatican. Well, this doesn't make any sense because of the description of Babylon the Great. In the description of Revelation 18th chapter, Babylon the Great was a huge ally, not only spiritually but economically speaking, to various nations. Now, the same uh, Babylon, or Neo Babylon, is uh, considered a likened unto a great horde that sitteth upon a beast in Revelation the 17th chapter, right? And that beast goes into several dominant uh, countries, which is the NATO and the EU. Okay, now this is not the Vatican; doesn't hold that type of power that sits on a great beast that covers or controls the whole world, right? Whether it be economically speaking, um, monetarily speaking, culturally speaking. The starting with the United States, Esau, Edom, along with that beast, holds the uh, dominance of the world, or the hegemony of the world. Okay, which is the image of the beast. Okay, so I wanted to get a couple of scriptures proving it, and this doesn't have to be lengthy at all. I just wanted to give you guys this understanding. This is very important. Okay, because again, you have Christians that say that the great whore is the Vatican, and other places, that's not correct. Okay, so Revelation 18:1, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is falling, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So this place, Babylon the Great, aka America, has been the hub of lewdness. Look what America uplifts here. Transgenderism, uh, uh, the mole activities, you know, bestiality, you know, lewdness in our women, whoredom in our women. Okay, so all these various sins have led to a very decadent society. Okay, verse 3: For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Now, when you commit fornication, that means you are marrying someone who's married, or well, you're having sex with someone who's married, and this is which is adulterous. And America, has perpetuated its lies throughout the the nations, man. Right? Or should I say, Esau, Edom, starting with America, has perpetuated its lies throughout the world, man. Right? Again, Western culture is a way in which is utilized to liberate people with alternative lifestyles, contemporarily speaking, which is really a way in which they Hellenize various nations, okay, through perversion of sex. This is one way in which they do, in which the other nations are drunk with the wine of Babylon the Great. Also, monetarily speaking, the U.S. dollar is still the dominant currency. You have to utilize the American dollar to buy and trade oil, which makes it an reserved oil, reserved currency, and it gives it its power. There's a term called petrodollar. Okay, all right. Culturally speaking, this place has a huge influence over the world. When BLM rallies began here in Babylon the Great, well, what happened in other places? Other places were even galvanized. Even in the land of Israel, you had the Ethiopian Jews, off of the backs of the true Israelites, formed their own protests of BLM. Okay? And that's just one place. Heck, you had protests of BLM way in China. Okay? Which shows you who are the true nation of Israel, and also it shows you, who has the influence over the world, which is Babylon the Great. Okay? All right? And this place has mixed and mingled with this uh, with other nations. I should say other nations have mixed and mingled with this other place and taken on their culture, and also done business with them. Okay, making them, a lot of these nations substantially rich, like China. Okay, back to it though. Revelation 18:3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxing rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not her plagues. That's right. So this is talking about us being delivered. We used to link this up with Micah 2:10. The apostles actually corrected us. This is actually going into us being saved out of this place. Or should I say the elect being saved out of this place, man. Okay? Verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled will fill to her double. So, like, this place have been destroyed, has destroyed other nations. This place is going to be utterly destroyed. Now, this is an indicator, right? The power of the Neo-Babylonian Empire, or, saying Babylon the Great, right? The Neo, I should say, Babylonian, or Babylon the Great, aka America. We understand that via prophecy that the new Babylon, the contemporary Babylon, is going to be destroyed off the face of the earth. Now, how can we link that with Esau, Edom? Okay, let's go to Psalms 137, and we'll start at 7. Okay, Psalms 137 and 7. All right, now Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, when who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. That means to destroy it, right? Even to its foundation. Now, Esau, Edom has taken great steps to keep us not only subjugated, or relegated to the hood via social discrimination and things of that nature. But in a lot of ways, he's tried to exterminate us. One is eugenics. The elder Yahshua brings out often. You know, uh, which eugenics, happened during the time of the population of scientific racism, aka pseudoscience. And so, they implemented various laws to sterilize our women. This was in the 1960s. Also, Planned Parenthood was a way in which to ensure that our population stayed at a certain point, and even in a lot of ways stop the growth. You know what I'm saying? So in many ways, Esau Edom, has wanted to destroy us to our very core, do away with us, decimate us. Okay, and he did it to the northern tribe, the Gadite brothers. You know what I'm saying? And other brothers, man. So this guy has a lot to pray for. Verse 8, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. You see that? So just like Babylon the Great is prescribed to receive double, here Esau Edom is prescribed to receive double for trying to destroy us. Okay, right? And also the scriptures liken Esau Edom to what? Babylon. Okay, let's read it. Let's read it in 7 and 8, just so we could grasp the understanding. Okay, now the Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. So why is Esau Edom likened unto Babylon? Or why is it described as Babylon, the daughter of Babylon? Well, during the time of the Babylonian war invasions, Esau Edom was helping Babylon to destroy us. Okay? And you got to understand too, Esau Edom, he goes and he mixes and mingles with various cultures, and he takes on these various cultures, philosophies, and ways. All right? So the Chaldeans, what I'm saying, these hidden, and these various hidden mysteries on the left-hand side, Esau Edom got from the Babylonians, okay? Many witches and warlocks and things of that nature. All right? So Esau Edom has always taken on, these various nationalities, ways. And and with him, because he's on the left hand side, it made him more powerful. Anytime we start worshiping Baal and Ashereth, if you look up Grove in the scriptures, it goes back to Ashereth, the worship of women. It destroys us, man. But Esau Edom, he gets stronger. Why is that? Because he's the son of perdition. All right. Now this is Ezekiel 37 and actually it's 35. I'm sorry. It's 35. Slaki Yakyam and Akwath. Ezekiel 35. And I started 1. Ezekiel 35 and 1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Now, Mount Seir is in Edom. Okay? So it's talking about it's likened the people unto basically a region, right? Which it does it to us. The scripture does the same thing to us when it says, it's a case in point. Prophet, I've seen you to Jerusalem. It's just talking about Esau Edom. All right. Now it says, and say unto it, thus saith Yahweh God, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. So this like Babylon the Great is prophesied to be destroyed, right? In the latter days, Edom is prophesied to be destroyed in the latter days. Is what 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, okay? Now 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the pardon and son of the times? When shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau was born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So Esau is the end of the world. Now what nation is prescribed to be ruling during the time of Revelation? Right? Babylon the Great, okay? Right? This is synonymous with Esau, Edom. Babylon the Great in Revelation is synonymous with Esau, Edom, because we know by prophecy that Esau, Edom will rule, and eventually Jacob will take that rulership, and Esau will have to serve Jacob. Okay? So what has to happen first? Well, Babylon the Great has to fall. Who's ruling Babylon the Great? Esau, Edom. Okay? Let's go back to the scriptures. Back to Ezekiel. Ezekiel 35 and 4. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by force of the sword in a time of calamity. Now, what time period is this talking about? Again, this is talking about during time in which the Babylonians were conquering us. Esau, Edom helped. Okay? Right? Let's get commentary on this. I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys history just for edification. All right, I like to use David Uzik. Now, David Uzik, it says the announcement of God's judgment against Edom, Mount Seir, which we edified on this. Okay, we'll keep on reading now and get straight to the point. Get straight to the point. Now, this is going to the 5th verse, which I believe we read. It says, because you have had an ancient hatred. Well, we just read in the KJV version. It says, because you have had a perpetual hatred. God first stated reason for judgment against Edom was their ancient hatred or perpetual hatred of Israel that made the Most High made long remember a society sin and one day judge them. But this is not the place of man. For us, Most High does not hold us to want us to hold ancient hatred. Yeah, whatever. We want the will of Habashim Hashai. Let's see here. Here we go. This is what I wanted. And have shed the blood of the children of Israel. Edom gave expression to their ancient hatred by joining with armies set against Israel and by taking advantage of Israel at the time of their calamity, and have shed their blood. The victims are not merely Judeans who may have fallen to Edomite soldiers participating in Nebuchadnezzar's. Now, Nebuchadnezzar is the king of Babylon at the time campaign, and at the time we were tributaries, but we were trying to break free from that with various pacts that we had with Egypt and other nationalities. But it was Jeremiah was telling the southern tribe to just remain in captivity, but we were trying to make pacts and do our own thing, contrary to the Heavenly Father. So the Most High had it to where Nebuchadnezzar took the king into captivity. Okay, and also the people. I believe Zedekiah killed his two sons in front of him, plucked his eyes out, and carried them into captivity. And Jeremiah told him, like, look, man, because of your sins, you're going into captivity. Serve Babylon as tributaries and not wage war. Okay? We did contrary to that and made pacts and things of that nature. Actually assassinated, political figures at the time, too. Right? So Nebuchadnezzar, along with allied forces, took us down. And one of those allied forces was our arch enemy, Esau, Edom. This is why they're likened unto Babylon the Great, okay? Because they put us into, not only did they help with the captivity during Babylonians, but they actually put us into severe captivity like the Babylonians, okay? This is another indicator that Esau, Edom is ruling Babylon the Great, spoken about in Revelations, okay? But back to it, it says, the blood guilt was incurred by searching out and slaughtering victims. Psalms 137 and Lamentations 4, 22 and 25 implied that Edom gladly aided the Babylonian invasion of Judah in 589 through 186 BC. Obadiah 10 and 14 also denounced Edom for their betrayal of Israel in time of need. And at that time, and because of that, what's going to happen to Babylon the Great was going to be destroyed by the Heavenly Father. Let's get Obadiah 1 and 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. You will be destroyed. Right? This is what we want. The true Israelites want. We want our enemies to be destroyed. Right? In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captives his forces, and foreigners entered into his gate, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on thy brother, on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger. And that in a day that we became strangers. This is a cut. I don't want to segue too much, but that's heavy, that we was brought into captivity and made strangers. From what? From us knowing that we were Israelites. See, the various captivity that we endured further broke down the nation of Israel to where a lot of our people, were losing their understanding of who they were. And Esau, Edom aided in that in ancient time, and even now. See, he has had a perpetual hatred against us, man. Right? But how does he do it now with his, media, his, case in point, he feeds us. Instead of feeding us things that have to do with these scriptures, or just anything that's positive, what does he feed us on TV, on the radio? Constantly reassuring black culture, which consists of adultery, drug use, okay, irresponsibility, impulsive, violent behavior. He does all these things to change us into strangers, and that same spirit he was in during the time of the Babylonians when we were being taken over by them, man. He had his mindset of destroying us as a people. Okay? Back to it in the middle of verse 12. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced, over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest have not entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. You see that, and it talks about that in Ezekiel the 35th chapter, how they was helping the Babylonians when we were escaping by cutting us off, by destroying us. Okay, neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of Yahweh is near. All the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. So the Most High is going to destroy Esau, Edom, just like he destroyed us. Okay? Keep on. Let's keep going. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountains, so shall all the heathen, you see that, drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as thou had, as they shall be as though they had not been. Now, let's read this in NLT. Just as you swallowed up my people on my holy mountain, so you and your surrounding nations will swallow the punishment I pour up on you. Yes, all you nations will drink the stagger and disappear from history. And this is talking about really Esau, Edom. You know, those that have swallowed us up. Okay? You know, they're going to be swallowed. They're going to be destroyed. You know, which is Esau, Edom, man. You know, chiefly. And these other nations. But starting with Esau, Edom. Right? Verse 17. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessors, their possessions. And this is another indicator that Esau Edom is ruling Babylon the Great, because it ties in with what? It ties in with Isaiah the 14th chapter, man. In the latter days, when Esau Edom will be destroyed, you know, when Babylon will be destroyed, guess what? That's a rise in the nation of Israel as the rulers of the world, man. Okay? Isaiah 14:1. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them. This is talking about the latter days. It's not talking about the time after Babylon. A lot of people want to say that Esau, Edom was done away with or destroyed. Well, if that's the case, then the nation of Israel will be ruling the entire world. It's not happening. Okay? Verse 2, and the people shall take them and shall bring to them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. You see that? And it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve. You see that? So the Most High is going to save us, right? From the fear, from the anguish that we had to serve out. What nation he's going to do that? What nation is a nation Israel chiefly going to be saved after, you know what I'm saying, the wicked nation? Isaiah 14:4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Yahweh has broken the staff of the wicked in the scepter of the ruler. You see that? So the Most High is going to break the power of Babylon the Great. Okay? And we could just keep going. There's so many more, you know. But let's go back to Revelation. Revelation 18:2. And he cried mighty with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is falling. Now we know this is in Isaiah 14, you know what I'm saying, was talking about ancient Babylon, because ancient Babylon is still around. We're still around. And the transition from the Babylonian Empire to the Persian Empire wasn't really fierce. It was an easy transition. It didn't lead. It didn't amount to a lot of bloodshed. Now this is talk and also it didn't lead to the Israelites being free, because the Israelites still had to serve captivity under the Persians, under the Greeks, the Romans, right? And then scattered. You know what I'm saying? Then still in captivity. Okay? So they're just talking about future Babylon. It's talking about this Babylon here, Babylon the Great, aka the U.S. Okay, verse 2. And he cried mildly with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is falling, and is become the habitations of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I have heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of the sins of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues, that destruction. Okay, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works, in the cups which she hath filled to her double. And just like as we read in Obadiah, the Edomites will be paid back double, and here we are. Babylon the Great is going to be paid back double. What? With destruction. We didn't read that in Obadiah, and I should have. I might go back to it, but I want to read. I wanted to reiterate the main point. I want to stick on the main point and reiterate that Esau, Edom rules ancient Babylon, okay? Right? But this for edification, you want to go back to Obadiah. Let's talk about the extermination of the Edomites in the latter times, which is going to happen during the time of them ruling Babylon the Great, okay? Which is now, all right? Verse 7, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see shall see no sorrow. So, you know, there's great pride here, man. Right? And the Most High is gonna destroy that pride of Babylon the Great. Okay? Babylon has lived very deliciously off of the backs of, you know, chiefly Israelites, and, you know what I'm saying, various in these other nations which they put under tributary, really, okay, or just straight up stole their natural resources. So the Most High is going to pay this place back with a sore destruction, okay? Revelation 18:8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is Yahweh power who judges her. And how's that fire going to happen? Well, that fire is going to be a thermonuclear destruction, right? That fire not blown. This is how this place is going to be wiped off the face of the earth, right? And this is going to happen to the nation of Esau, Edom. They're going to be wiped off the face of the earth. This place is going to be cleansed from all the sins that was perpetuated by Esau, Edom. Okay? Back to it. Obadiah 1:17. I started 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them, and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. All right? So we're going to be Jacob and Joseph, right? Northern tribe and southern tribe. We're going to be united, and we're going to be a fire unto Esau, Edom. Okay, we're going to destroy Esau, Edom. Right, with the power of Yahweh by Shai. Right, and this is talking about a future prophecy when we're in the kingdom, where Esau, Edom, you know what I'm saying, is going to be destroyed ultimately, man. Okay, verse 19, and they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain of Philistines, and they shall possess the field of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead, and the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zephareth, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Sepharad, shall possess the cities of the south. So the Most High is going to allow us to have slaves. Okay, we're going to have total rulership on the world, and Savior shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the amount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be Yahweh. So judgment is going to come from the elect man of Israel to judge ultimately Esau, Edom. What are we going to do? We're going to possess them, and we're going to destroy them, right? And just like how Esau, Edom is going to be destroyed with fire, Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed with fire. Okay. All right. So this is how we know that Babylon the Great is Esau, Edom, right? It's synonymous with Esau, Edom, all right? So that being said, giving our praise to my Heavenly Father, his name is Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, by Shem Kakadash, the bondage to the apostle, and well. Peace, meaning, salutations, y'all. I'm told in the truth. Shalom.